I got up to top 1000 in the world multiple times, and these are the top 5 decks that I used to absolutely crush this arena and push up quick. Alright guys, this is gonna be the first deck that I want to show you. It's gonna be a Hog Cycle deck with the poison. You can sub in the Fireball if you want, but with this deck you need to absolutely keep the pressure, and you have two win conditions. You're gonna have the Mortar and you're gonna have the Hog Rider, which is gonna be a double win condition in this arena. I've seen that the Mortar really works a lot just because he has to use a lot of cards to take it out, and if he uses, especially if he uses like a heavy counter against your Mortar, you can go ahead and use your Hog, and that's gonna get a lot of value. We're up against the Witch deck with this Karmi. I'm just gonna go Zap just because I want to get that extra shot with the Mortar right now. I think we get maybe one shot on his tower. We can just go immediately Hog just because I think it's a good play, but I don't really know if I want to push too aggressive right now. I'm just gonna go ahead and wait and see what he's gonna do. Let's see if he's gonna play anything. I don't think he's gonna play anything, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use the Hog plus the Knight combo here. I'm gonna take a lot of damage on the left side, but I am gonna take his tower on the right, so it's really not a big problem even if you lose your tower here, just because he did use up the barbs, and the barbs are one of the biggest curse to your Mortar and Hog decks. So I'm just gonna wait here, try to cycle to another Hog plus Knight combo, and that's gonna get a lot of damage over here. We're just gonna wait here and see what he's gonna do. He's just gonna waste his Karmi right there. Absolutely no reason why he should have done that. I'm just gonna go ahead and pressure with a Knight plus Hog combo on the right side, and let's see what he's gonna do. I don't think he has a lot of cards to attack, to defend, and I really think he's gonna lose his tower here. And as I said, this deck is super strong. If you can track his win condition and his counters to your win condition, you're gonna be completely fine. And it really depends on what cards he's gonna have. If he's gonna have like a lot of buildings, or if he's gonna have multiple counters to your win condition, then it's gonna be hard, and you could still outplay just because you have two win condition, and that's important with this deck. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and use my Hog and get his tower. I know he does have the barbs in cycle, but I'm just gonna go ahead and play my Hog anyways because his tower is down to like 600 HP. I'm just gonna wait here, use my Ice Spirit. Ice Spirit should be super nice against this Karmi. I'm gonna Zap as well. I'm gonna poison. This should take the tower and the game. Even if he barbs, there's no way he's gonna defend it, and that's how we get game number 1 with the best Hog Cycle deck, especially for Arena 9. Alright guys, the second deck that I want to share with you is gonna be this deck with the RG, and we're gonna have the Witch plus Mini Pekka, because the Mini Pekka is so strong in this arena just because it's a tank killer, and you need something like the Mini Pekka against any sort of win condition that's gonna appear on the ground. Right here he's gonna play a Hog. Our Mini Pekka is gonna do a nice job against it, and we're gonna wait and see what he's gonna do. I'm not really sure what he's gonna have here. We're just gonna wait and see. He's gonna scar me here. I think we can just use a wizard. A lot of you guys would use arrows, but I really suggest that you use the wizard against those cards, because you want to save your arrows on offense most of the times, because it gets a lot more value than on defense, because you're gonna have the witch, you're gonna have the wizard, you're gonna have even the poison. So you need to make sure you save the arrows unless you really need it on defense, and that's gonna help you a lot on offense. I'm just gonna wait here and see what he's gonna do. Even if he has a lot of spell bait cards, I could still poison right here. I think it's a good poison just because we're gonna take his tower and do some damage to the witch. We're gonna get his tower to like maybe 100 damage. Yeah, I think around 100 damage, 107. We're still fine here. I'm gonna wait and let's see what he's gonna do. I'm just gonna wait here and use my Skarmy plus arrows because I have to take out the witch, or it's just gonna do way too much damage. And over here he does throw the Goblin Barrel. I don't really have a play because I just used my Skarmy. It's not the end of the world because we're gonna get his tower. He's gonna get a lot of damage on the left side, but we're just gonna make sure he doesn't get the tower until the end, just because he's gonna have to use a lot more elixir than needed to get the tower on the left side. And that's going to put us in a very good situation because we're going to spend a lot of elixir to attack on the right side as well. Alright guys, we're moving into double elixir time. I'm just going to give him the tower mostly here. I'm going to use the Mini Pekka to try to mitigate as much damage as I can. Maybe save our tower on the left side. That's going to be super nice. And we do actually manage to pull it off just because the Mini Pekka is so strong against any win condition on the ground. He's gonna have a hard time defending against the witch and the RG here. I'm gonna poison for sure because we get the tower, we get the witch, and we get the arena tower as well. So That's a really good poison in my opinion. I'm just going to preemptive wizard here in case he plays the hog. I'm going to use my Skarmy just because I don't want to give him the tower, but I think the hog's going to connect and get the tower. That's pretty unfortunate, but we have both these towers done. We have to make sure we defend this really well, or we could push for the 3 crown. It depends on how this guy's going to play it out, and he's not really doing anything, so I'm going to try to push for the 3 crown here and see what he's going to do. Okay, so he just played the witch at the back, so I can't really use my RG, so I'm gonna have to defend here. And I don't think he can get the tower here. I don't think he can get the tower here because we have the wizard, we have the arrows, and we have the mini Pekka. There's legit 0% chance he breaks through, and that's gonna be the game number 2 and deck number 2 for you guys. Alright guys, the third deck that I want to share with you guys is this double win condition deck. We're gonna have the Goblin Barrel and we're gonna have the balloon in this deck. You guys can choose which win condition to use against your enemy, just because this deck is super flexible. You're gonna have the Goblin Barrel and the balloon in case he has a lot of arrows or he's gonna have a lot of spells. You can just switch over to balloon and the balloon's gonna get a lot of damage for you guys. And if he's gonna have a lot of air counters and if he lacks spells in his deck, you can go ahead and switch over to the Goblin Bell and that's gonna get you a lot of damage. So this is super flexible for you guys. You can use whichever win condition you want over here, and that's the beauty of this particular deck. We're just gonna go ahead and use the mini Pekka here against the hog. He's gonna throw in the Goblin Bell and I'm just gonna use the arrows because the arrows are gonna be super nice against any sort of baity card. And we're still oh wow, we just got a shot with the mini Pekka, and that's really nice for us just because we need the damage with this deck, because this usually you want to play it out with the Goblin Barrel, but the balloon can come in clutch as well. So I'm just going to go ahead, use my Valkyrie in front of the Musketeer and see how this guy is going to defend against it. And let's see how he's going to defend. I don't really think he can really defend that well because he just used up a lot of elixir, so our Musketeer should get a lot of value on his left tower. He's actually not even going to try to defend. I'm just going to wait here, use his Skarmy plus Goblin Barrel. This is a play that I want to point out, guys. I used his Skarmy and I threw the Goblin Barrel immediately because he has to choose which one he wants to defend. If he wants to actually defend his tower, he has to zap the Goblin Barrel. If he wants to save his attack, he has to zap the Skeleton Army. And I put him in such a rough spot that he had to choose whether to attack or to defend, and he can't do both. So that's how we got the tower on the left side. And you want to do this a lot of times with the bait deck. Every single time you're up against a big attack, you want to throw in the Goblin Barrel and then use your baity cards to defend, because he has to choose whether he wants to attack or defend, or he's just gonna lose his tower. And that's the situation that you want to put your enemy in a lot of times with bait cards or the bait decks that you're gonna run in Arena 9. I'm just going to throw in my Goblin Barrel just because that's the best play against the Prince, and I don't really have my Skarmy here. I'm going to throw in the Goblin Barrel and then use my mini Pekka, and that's going to do a nice job just taking out the Prince, and we're in a pretty safe spot over here. And I think I'm going to use my Baby Dragon here and use my Skarmy against the Hog because that's the best play here, and that's going to completely shred the Hog. We're going to arrows here. I don't think it really matters if the Giant Skelly connects on our tower just because we have his tower down, and we are going to go ahead and pressure here with the Goblin Barrel plus Valkyrie. Let's see how he's going to defend it. I don't think he can defend it. I'm just going to use my mini Pekka here to defend against the Prince, and this is going to be the third deck that's going to be super viable in Arena 9. This is super flexible for you guys that are looking for a double win condition deck that can absolutely crush Arena 9 depending on what he plays. Alright guys, this is going to be the fourth deck that you guys can be using in Arena 9, and it's a super strong minor control deck that's going to have the Witch, the Flying Machine, and the Dart Goblin. And just a quick note guys, the Dart Goblin in this deck is a game winner. I can't tell you how many times I've won games just off the Dart Goblin, because it's such a broken card when paired up with the minor, and it's just so viable right now because in Arena 9 you're gonna try to get a lot of value with your Witch, with your Wizard, with your Musketeer, but this card for 3 elixir gets you the most value. And right here you don't want to be cycling a lot of cards in the start just because you want to try to play it out passive, because it's a very controlled deck. You're gonna have the minor, you're gonna have the Flying Machine, and for defense you're gonna have the Bomb Tower as well. So you can play the Bomb Tower right down the middle and just defend with your Spear Goblins, with your Wizard, with your Witch, depending on what he throws at you. I'm gonna wait and use my Spear Goblins here. That's going to fully counter the Prince. And we're just going to wait and see what he's going to do. He's going to use the arrows. I don't really agree with that play whatsoever. That was a big overcommitment. And I think we're just going to pressure it because he used a lot of elixir on offense. I don't think he can defend because we just figured that he had such low elixir. We were able to get that witch plus minor combo on the right side. And he's just struggling to defend, guys. That's what I'm saying. You need to track what cards he's going to have and how much elixir he's going to spend. Because a lot of times these guys in Arena 9 are going to overspend. And if you can catch them when they do that, you're going to go ahead and take a lot of damage on his tower or potentially take the tower altogether. I'm going to bomb tower here because I don't really have the best hand. I'm going to wait and use my Spear Goblins against the Prince and maybe use my Musketeer. I don't really think I need my Musketeer here. I'm just going to Witch here against the Goblin Barrel and see what he's going to do against my Witch here. I think I can throw in the Miner here because this is a combo that I use a lot. The Witch plus Miner combo in Arena 9 is pretty strong because he has to deal with the Miner on the tower and he has to deal with the skeletons that the Witch is going to spawn back to back to back. The Flying Machine does connect on the left side. I'm going to throw my Dart Goblin just to make sure I get the tower on the right side because we need the tower as soon as possible so that we can focus on the next tower here. I'm going to use my Spear Goblins, just spread it out so he doesn't get a lot of spell value with his spells. And I'm going to wait here, use my Dart Goblin with the Miner, and let's see how he's going to defend against my Witch plus Musketeer. I did really clump together all my cards here. He gets a lot of value with the arrow, so that's something that you don't want to do regularly unless you're winning, because usually when you play a lot of cards together, your enemy is going to get a lot of value, and that's going to be game number 4, guys. This is going to be the best deck for you Miner control players in Arena 9. Alright guys, this is going to be the last and final deck that you guys can be using to crush Arena 9, and it's going to be this Pekka Prince deck with the Wizard. I really like the Wizard in this meta because it gets so much value against all the baity cards. I have the Bomber as well, just because it's a cheaper way to take care of all the pesky cards that are on the ground. I'm going to use my Prince here against the Hog. We're gonna take a lot of damage here, but it's completely fine because we want to see what cards he's gonna have in defense so we can figure out a way to attack his tower. And he's going to use the Musketeer on defense. I'm just going to Rage here so that the Prince gets some extra shots on the tower. I'm going to throw in my Goblin Barrel as well just to see what spells he's going to have. Completely useless snowball right there by this guy here. I have no idea what he's trying to do, but I'm going to use the Goblin Gang right here just to see what spells he's going to have other than the snowball. And we're just going to cycle the Bomber at the back. I'm going to use my Prince here and see how he's going to defend it, because usually when you throw your Prince right at the bridge when he doesn't have a lot of pesky cards, he's going to force out a lot of elixir from this guy. I see that he just used the cannon and he did overcommit with the Musketeer as well. So even if he hogs here, I have no problem because we have a lot of elixir advantage here. He's going to go ahead and use the Musketeer plus hog combo here. We're going to take a lot of damage, guys, but with this deck, the counterattack potential is crazy. You need to understand that this deck just relies on counterattack, and watch this, guys. There's no way he's gonna defend it because he used a lot of elixir on offense. We're gonna have the Pekka plus Wizard combo, which is just undisputedly the best combo, especially here, just because he can't use anything. Even if he uses the pesky cards, there's no way he's gonna defend, because this is going to be perfect for you, because even if he throws a lot of counters against your Prince or your Pekka, your Wizard is going to be there to just pressure. He's trying his level best to defend. There's no way he's going to defend here. We're going to throw in the Goblin Barrel and just finish the game right here and the tower. So these are going to be the top 5 best decks that you can be using in Arena 9 to crush and just speed run through Arena 9.